Using a rag and brake parts cleaner, remove all the old grease from the input shaft splines. You may need to use a stiff bristle brush to remove any dried grease from between the splines. Use a clean rag to apply new grease to the input shaft splines. Put on clean gloves before touching the disc. Place the disc onto the input shaft and push it back as far as it will go. Then remove it. Rotate the disc 1/3, then place the disc back onto the input shaft and push it back as far as it will go. Repeat this action several times, ensuring that the grease is spread evenly. Remove the excess grease from the disc and input shaft, leaving only a very thin layer on the spline section of the shaft. Any excess grease will spin off the input shaft and contaminate the friction material. This will cause slip, chatter, glazing, and other engagement issues. Contaminated friction material is not covered underneath warranty. After cleaning the mounting boss, install the new slave cylinder and tighten the fixing screws to 16 Newton meters, or 12 pound-feet. To bleed the hydraulic slave cylinder, you will need the following items: hydraulic bearing, brake fluid, funnel, and gloves. Remove protective cap from hydraulic feed line. Secure the funnel to the hydraulic bearing feed line. Pour brake fluid into the funnel that is connected to the hydraulic bearing. Purge air from the hydraulic slave cylinder by repeatedly pressing the bearing. Cycle the bearing until the bubbles are small and consistent. This step is to remove the majority of the air in the line. Any remaining air will be purged when final bleeding is performed in the vehicle. When later installing the transmission, the bearing will be compressed and fluid will be pushed out of the slave cylinder. As a suggestion, you may want to zip tie a glove to the spout of the slave cylinder to catch the excess.